damn, a damn Alabama fan and proud of it. Gump Nation forever, brother.
Namath again faking, quickly finds his target.
Now cut in. He's at the 40-yard line. He's at the 30.
Quick drop throws in the end zone.
Each number represents an expectation, a challenge that only a championship tradition can issue.
Pressure. Anders hits him. The ball is loose.
Alabama, here comes the heat. Cornelius Bennett. Whoa, did he get lit up?
It is an endless passing of the torch that urges the wearer to enrich his legacy.
Brings pressure up the middle in a hurry. They can't get away from Dante. Alexander first down and more.
Richardson breaks free on the sideline. Turns the corner. Can you say goodbye?
Because at Alabama, tradition is not retired. It is built.
It doesn't just roll out great players. He and his staff develop them. It's all about the process.
It's important. But how we do what we do becomes more and more important. And that's for every guy here. We got to do it better. Our goal is to have the kind of team that nobody wants to play. And that means that we have to impose our will to dominate the competition all the time. It's all about what does it take to break you.
Does put a smile on my face.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today?
Great.
Good morning, Roll Tide. Let's roll, baby. Come on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, guys, this morning we was waiting on Spencer to come on. We're just a minute late, but he might still be able to make it. He's on the road somewhere, so hopefully he'll be able to join us here shortly. But until then, we're going to try to stall just a little bit and talk about the games today, or one or two of these games. Yes, sir. Good cold morning for college football. But yeah, let's get going just a little bit. Guys, let's see. William Bryant, Jr., of course, I see you. Mr. Jones, Stephen Hicks. Let's see, Jeff Stapleton. See who else is on here. I think I got everybody that's been typing in. Looks like we got a good crowd going this morning. Before we get started talking about the games, we'll go with the results. Does anybody know who got 3-0 last week?
You did.
Well, I ain't told one.
Hey, you done good. You done good. I knew there was more, but you done good. I'm proud of you, Icebox.
Yeah, everybody thought I was just playing the opposite. No. Hey, good morning, B Jamming. But no, Todd. I have to say, Mr. Todd, y'all better watch him, AT. You remember last year he snuck up on you.
Yeah, I had a bad week last week. Vanderbilt had me fooled. I thought maybe they'd cross that line, and they had not. And South Carolina stomped them from one end to the other end. I was, Lord have mercy.
All right, look at your camera. There you go, not your computer. All right, here we go. Roll Tide Rise Up. He is now sitting at 12. He got one last week. Let's see who is the next guy. That would be George is stuck at 15. No, Steven has done real good. Ken is stuck at 15. He got 0 last week. You'll see. I'm just going to go down the list as I got it. All right, Jeff Stapleton, you are sitting at 21. William Bryant, I believe you were sitting at 15 also. Mr. Jones, you were sitting at 17. Let's see. Todd, you are sitting at 18 now. B. Jammin, you are sitting at 21. Stephen Hicks, you were sitting at 17. George, you're at 15. Junior, you're sitting at 8. And let's see. AT, you're sitting at 21. Spencer is sitting at 20. And I am now sitting at 15 myself. So here we go. we're going to try to kick it in. But right now, I think your leader is 21. That's going to be Jeff Stapleton, AT, and B Jamming. Y'all three are tied. So y'all better look out for B Jamming. B Jamming be back here just quietly. I know what B Jamming's doing.
B Jamming ain't been quiet a day in his life. What are you talking about, quiet?
All right. Good morning, Bobby. Glad to see you, buddy. All right. We're going to try to get started just a little bit, guys, if y'all don't mind. We're going to start off talking about LSU in Florida. This is not one of the picks, guys. I want to reiterate, this is not one of the picks, okay? We're just trying to kill just a little bit of time before we get into the picks, so give Spencer some more time. If he doesn't make it by the time we get done, we'll just have to rock on. We know how it is when you're on the road. All right. LSU is going to be playing at Florida's house. Right now, LSU has picked a win by 3.5, so that means they've got to win by 4. LSU is setting in with a 6-3 record against a 4-5 record of Florida. Junior, you want to take off on that one?
Oh, LSU. LSU was bad last week. Bad. But I was happy it was bad. That's what I needed them to be bad.
Yeah.
Florida. They going through it right now. DJ Lagway will play this weekend, so they getting back to their quarterback. I feel like Florida, I think they're coming along, but I think LSU has too many dogs for them guys. Does Florida have a good defense? Now, if their defense come to play and get to Nussmeier, we all seen what Nussmeier does when a defense put hands on him, and that's not too good. But overall, I still think LSU pulls it out. I don't think LSU gonna go out like that. I think they'll pull it out. But I think Billy Napier is headed in the right direction with this team. He got a really hard schedule this year, and it's a lot of teams that ain't finna survive that schedule. And Florida is a program that they've been bad for so long, so it's just hard to come turn around on the drop of a dime like that. It's gonna take a while. So for them to give Billy Napier some more time, I think that's fair. I think it's fair.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of agreeing with B. Jammett. He says we need LSU to win this one. I think so too. Kind of help strengthen up our standings. I think that's what he's going for. What do you got, AT?
I agree with you all the way around, guys. I think LSU needs to win this game to help us, and that's the only reason I'll be pulling for them, because I think Florida might. I can't believe they're going to keep around Napier for another year after this year they had. I figured they should go after a different coach, but I was wrong. So I'm pulling for LSU to win this game, make us look better.
Okay. All right. Yep. Good morning, Brittany. I'm glad to see you, Spencer. Okay. Yeah, we trying to hold out for you, brother. You know how we're trying to do. Yeah, they said Florida. I'm kind of glad that they're not so good, just to be honest with you, because I really wanted that defensive coach that we were going to get last year or this year, and he decided to go to Florida. Goodbye. I hope you lose. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I do agree with B. Jammett. I think LSU needs to win this game for us. Are they going to win by 3.5? If LSU wins, it's going to be more than 4. I'll tell you that. So, I think LSU is going to be licking their chops again. They got something to prove. The fans are all against them right now. You've seen what the reactions were when they started throwing bottles and stuff like that. I don't know if they're angry with the play calling or the play itself. I don't know. Or was they angry with the referees for what was it, calling a face mask? Is that why they got all upset?
I don't know.
I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. But, yeah.
Yeah, every time LSU was trying to build momentum, they took it away from them, or they would shoot their own selves in the foot, basically. So, but I think they rebound, go back down to Florida, even though I think Florida is trying to come up. I think they really are, but I don't think this year is going to be it. And against LSU, I would say if I was picking on this one, I would pick LSU myself also.
I tell you what I liked about that game was we had them clearing out the stands in the third quarter, not the fourth. They're already leaving in the third quarter. I was like, yeah, baby, get on, get going. They knew they were big.
Hey, we took that crowd out the game so fast, man. We took all that energy out the game so fast, man. I'm like, whoa.
That makes you wonder why they don't have more design runs for Milrow like it. But again, LSU can't stop a running quarterback. We ran 3 touchdowns off the left tackle, same play every time. They never adjusted, never changed, never done anything to it. Milrow just ran through them. I'm like, they can't make an adjustment after watching South Carolina show you how to stop him from running. So it makes you wonder how good a coach Brian Kelly is at LSU, and he could be on the hot seat at the end of the year. It's according to how they finish, I imagine.
I don't know. That'd be, man. See, that stuff be crazy to me. Like, that'd be kind of a stretch to be put him on a hot seat, because in the end, it's like, this man is winning. He winning. And if right now you can compare Saban's record at LSU, I think in 3 years, and Brian Kelly's record at LSU 3 years, they down there identical, man. So
I mean, Mark Richt done good too, but good as enemy are great. 10-2 will get you on a good record, but 10-2 won't get you the championship game. Well, now it might, but I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if they're going to be happy with 10-2, 9-3 every year, not getting anywhere, just treading water. I think he'd be on the hot seat.
I say good luck. Then I'm going to try to find another coach.
I understand what you're saying. I get you 100%. I mean, who could they find better? But Brian Kelly, his voice somehow just does not fit in the Southeast to me. Every time he speaks, I'm like, I don't get it. You know, how is he such a good coach? Because he sounds like a wimpy kind of little guy, you know. But if he isn't, he isn't. But again, we'll see what's going forward. But 9-3 will get him fired at LSU a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
hey, good morning, Jeff Roy.
And I do get that, but it's still Ogeron guys there though. It's still a lot of Ogeron guys. Nick Gary Nussmeier is not a Brian Kelly guy. That's an Ogeron guy. You know, like so. And if he can retain a lot of these recruits in this recruiting class, I think we'll start seeing the turnaround more. That's just my opinion though about LSU, because they got a really good recruiting class that's coming up, and they can retain a lot of them guys. I thought we'll start seeing a turnaround. Like I don't expect no freshman class to make a big immediate impact, but at least by their sophomore year, I think we'll start seeing the fruits of their labor of Brian Kelly at LSU.
Well, didn't they fire most of their defensive coaches last year?
To my LSU?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I know the DC was gone. Yeah, they did. Defensive line coach, the cornerback coach, yes, and the DC, yes.
So they really haven't had much time to gel as far as.
And the defensive line coach is Bo Davis, and the cornerback coach is Corey Raymond, 2 LSU guys that we know what Bo Davis is, and Corey Raymond was the big reason why LSU had all those DBs in the past that was so good there. He came back. I don't even know why Brian Kelly let him go in the first place, but he had went to Florida, but Brian Kelly brought him back, and that was a big part of the recruiting for them as well in the past.
I'm going to ask Jeff Stapleton a question. He says 9-3 got less fired. They're already sitting at 6-3. Do you think a 9-3 or maybe 8-4, Brian Kelly would still keep his job?
Hey, but 9-3 got less fired after how many years?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And he did.
They gonna allow more time.
He did bring a national championship within that time.
Yeah, but that was right there at the beginning after Saban left. He had Saban's players, I felt like, and he just went downhill from there and couldn't get off the grass, I feel like.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. While we're just talking about it, B. Jammin says the SEC made a mistake taking away the divisions East and West, especially this year bringing in 2 new schools. How are y'all adjusting well to that, or do y'all like it, or do y'all wish they were back to divisions?
I don't know how to really go. I don't know how to. I like divisions, but as long as the best 2 teams in the end go, I guess. I don't know.
I didn't so much like the divisions as far as that goes, because I felt like Georgia and Tennessee would get easier schedules than the West Side did.
Yeah,
and that was the problem. You know, if they could have fixed that, I would say stay with the divisions. Yeah,
and you know, this year we seeing that play out now. Like we're seeing that play out now. Now Kirby Smart is complaining about the strength, like the scheduling.
You know, Pillsbury, that's funny. Him of all people complain about the strength of schedule.
Yeah, because he's had it so easy so long. You know, I mean, it's easy to make it to. You take a good coach like Kirby Smart, good players like they got in Georgia, and the recruits that they have. I mean, it's hard to divide yourself. That's kind of like putting restriction plates on race cars. You know, you start making everybody start more even, and I don't like that idea. If you got innovations, but anyways, they were so easy for so many years. Now they got it tough against all the tougher schedules. We all do, you know, as far as that goes. So now let's see who really mans up. And Georgia's not used to it. So, yeah, he's going to cry a little bit. But I think in the long run, I think this will be better for the SEC. Pick out the best two teams you feel like and put them in there, you know, see who wins it. Because let me ask you this. Does the SEC championship matter anymore as far as getting people in playoffs? This was talked about last Saturday night. It was talked about, I think it was talked about Monday night. I'm not sure. Spencer can answer that one. But I know Spencer said something about it Wednesday night, how the SEC championship would hurt us if we was to go and lose. We won't make the playoffs. That's what I feel like also. Should that count against somebody playing in the SEC championship if they lose? Should that count against them?
It could be a detriment or advantageous to your situation. If you win, it does good. If you lose, you do bad. I mean, it's like a playoff game already built into the system. We already got a playoff game before you get into the actual playoffs, so it could be good or bad according if you win or lose.
Yeah.
And I'm still advocating don't send us to it. We're already sitting at 7-2, if I'm thinking right. So if we get, yeah, I think our best chance to get in the playoffs is not to go to the SEC championship. It's not important this time. I don't think.
No, I think we'll get in at 10-2. We play a championship game like you're saying. If we win, we're good, but if we lose, we're out. So I mean, it's sort of shooting extra bullets. All you're doing. If you miss, you're out of it. Well,
you're also taking a chance on hurting more players playing against your better team. And you're taking a chance of losing, and now you're out for sure. I just don't think Alabama has no benefit to play in the SEC championship this year, and I think they don't need to go. To be honest with you. Now Texas and Tennessee, okay. Well, Tennessee is 8-1. If they were to finish out, say, you know, throughout the schedule, and they lose, they still would make it. So would Texas if they were playing. All right, well, guys, we're gonna get into the picks. Appreciate that on the conversation, but we're gonna get started. I still wish Spencer could make it, and if he does, we'll pop him on as soon as he can. That'll be great. But anyway, we're gonna start off with Utah and Colorado. This is our outside of the box. Yeah. Utah is 4-5 record. They had a tough loss last week, but I figured they would come on fire this week, or at least try to prove something. Colorado, it's at their house. Colorado is picked to win by 13.5, which means they have to win by 14. They are sitting with a 7-2 record. Again, they are playing at Colorado's house. AT, go ahead, buddy.
Right there is going to be hard. That point spread is dead on right where you want it to be. It could have been a point more, a point less to make it harder. I mean, that's perfectly where I sit there looking at it going, please don't, you know, and sure enough, 13.5. All jokes aside, guys, hey, B. Jevin, how you like my background here behind me, buddy? Y'all like that? Don't forget who the champ is. And, you know, hey, you got to keep me off the throne before you get a chance at it, big boy. So here we go. I'm gonna roll out here. And I thought I said never say this. But I'm going to take Colorado. They're at home. Their quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, seems to be playing an upgrade schedule. He seemed to be having that drop off like I thought he might have. Of course, you got Travis Hunter, the best player in the country. I don't know if he can win the Heisman playing at Colorado or not, but he's if that guy didn't play so many snaps on both sides of the ball, he'd be a hell of a damn player. That's for sure. But he has to conserve some energy. But I look for Colorado to win this game. I'm worried about 13.5 because it's perfect, but they might win it by about 17. It's going to be close, so I'm going Colorado. I didn't think I'd pick Colorado. I started out thinking I'm going to go with Utah. I talked myself into Colorado, so later on I might be kicking myself in the gluteus maximus.
All right, go ahead, Jude.
Utah. Man, please. Listen, I ain't no Colorado fan, but I can't not see what I have been seeing this year. They're going to probably win their conference this year. They're gonna probably win their conference. Probably get to if they do get to the playoffs, they will get smoked. I don't think they're that good. But Travis Hunter, man, that's all I gotta say. Travis Hunter. How is he an impact player on both sides of the ball with all those snaps? I don't freaking know. And hey, Colorado is a better team than last year. Utah, they're struggling this year. They play good defense, but they're struggling this year. But the way Colorado offense is set up is they're gonna press, they're gonna push. They're gonna push the ball downfield, and it's gonna give them more opportunity with the wide receiver playmakers that they have. And I just got Colorado. I got Travis Hunter. I don't even got Colorado. I got Travis Hunter right now.
Well, Justin Summerlin says it right. Utah's defense will give them a hard time. If Colorado wins it, it won't be by 14. I keep this game in your mind, guys.
But will Utah be able to score?
Yeah. That's going to be a big question. I'm also with you guys. Colorado, okay. They are doing better, but they're playing as a team, which means a lot. We all know what we would do without Alabama playing like a team in these last two games. So a team is going to beat an individual anytime and every time. Well, Colorado pulled it out by 14. That's a big question. Is that Colorado's house? Guys, the numbers just all favor Colorado in this game. I mean, Utah, they had a tough loss last week, and I understand they played hard and they got a good defense. Well, so did Iowa. And you don't see nothing out of them either. So I'm going to have to go with Colorado in this pick myself.
Oh, 3 for 3. That's bad when the whole panel, everybody goes for one team. Who you got there, Big Javin?
I told you, this is a game. This ain't that.
That's a good.
This is our own little game.
That's exactly right.
He says he don't know who he wants to pick. He's got time to think about it because y'all know I asked for all three of them at the end of the show. All right, I don't know where to go with this, but I'm just going to have to go the way I feel. Tennessee versus Georgia.
Hope they both lose.
Yeah, I wonder if that's possible.
I love it. 0-0, but the point spread is still blank 1 the winner.
Win it in overtime. All right, Tennessee is 8-1. They're playing Georgia at Georgia's house. Georgia is now 7-2. They are picked to win this game straight up by 9 points. Junior, what's your feelings on this one?
I'm going to tell you, I hope it be a tie and they both lose. But my feelings are on this is I still got Georgia, man. It's hard. It's hard for me to pick against Georgia, no matter how inconsistent they are. Like I said last week, Carson Beck, I think he wants to be a Baker because he loves turnovers. But with all that being said, it's a lot of stuff I can say against Georgia that defense is not defensing this year. Only one game. Only one game we seen that Georgia team that we know, but we still see Carson Beck turn the ball over. It's hard for me to pick against Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
It ain't even Georgia. It's hard for me to pick against Kirby Smart. It's hard for me not to believe that Kirby Smart is going to let them go in with 2 losses already. The way they got their butt whooped last week, it's hard. Even if Carson Beck does what he do, I still always expect the defense to step up and take the lead of this. Georgia has Tennessee has a great run game. They run the ball. Dylan Sampson is that guy. Can they slow down his run game? I don't know. Do I believe in Nico? Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
So will the run game be enough for Tennessee to beat Georgia? And some reason I don't think that'll be enough to beat Georgia.
All right, AT.
I tell you, I look back at last week with Georgia, the way they played. And that's the only thing that gives me a reason why I could pick Georgia, because if they got they got their Gluteus Maximus, their Bootius big boy backside kick from one end to the other the whole game. Ole Miss didn't just win the game. If you watch their defensive front line, the Ole Miss defense front was sometimes going through without even being touched. All 4 of them was going through. I said, how can the whole defensive front get through without being touched? Now, I know the right guard's playing hurt, and he's going to be a first-round pick. So if he's that hurt, you need to get him out of the game and let him go up a little bit. Because, man, I mean, Ole Miss didn't just whoop them. They beat them up the entire game. That whole front line, that wasn't a fluke, guys. If they played that same team, that same game again and again and again, every time, I'm telling you, it'd probably get worse because I think Jackson Dart would do a better job doing what he done. I think Ole Miss won that game up front in the trenches, and I'm worried about Tennessee and their trenches because their front defense is very, very good. Nico was in concussion protocol. They said he cleared it. Did he really clear it, or they just need him to play because they know they got to have him? I don't know. Who's their backup? Anybody know who their backup is? I mean,
it don't matter because they both gonna lose anyway.
That's the reason why I say I think Georgia last week got their butt kicked, and they're gonna come out TikTok. They're gonna be mad. They're gonna be really upset. But Mr. Baker, man, Mr. Popover, turnover, whatever you want to call him, Cake Baker, he can do anything. 9 interceptions in the last 3 games or 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it's on a lot of interceptions. If they don't cut that out, they could be down by 30 points at half, just like they did against us when we played them. But they're at home. You're putting the champions back against the wall with one of the best, if not the best coach right now in college football at this point in time. So at home with Georgia, I want to pick Tennessee because of the 9, but I think Georgia's going to have to come out and make a statement. And I think they're going to be really mad and really ticked. So I'm going to pick Georgia thinking that the champion mentality is going to come out today and win the game for them. Other than that, I'm going with Tennessee, but I'm going Georgia. I'm taking Georgia.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of good comments coming in right now. Georgia will blow Tennessee out by 2 touchdowns, Justice Summerlin says. Watch the ref spread. That's a dadgum good point right there. Is Tennessee bringing their own refs? I mean, seriously, that is a really good question. What's the referees going to be like? Do you see Bama beating the Vols if we didn't shoot or something? Yeah, I do.
Hey, I want to answer that. Jeff Stapleton,
yep.
Losing to Tennessee and Vanderbilt. Losing to Tennessee, at first, it hurt a lot when we lost against Vanderbilt because it was Vanderbilt. But the losing to Tennessee, the way we lost to Tennessee, it hurt because we actually seen ourselves in the game. We got the turnovers we needed to win that game. So, answer your question, if we do not shoot ourselves in the foot, if our offense just has just this much more production, we beat Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
At least with Vanderbilt, they were just hitting us in the mouth the whole dang on game. At least with that. But with Tennessee game, it was like we had every opportunity to win that game, and we didn't. So I do feel like, yes, we would beat Tennessee. And the way we played last week, I don't think that team can Tennessee can touch that team we seen last week.
No, not the way they played last week.
No.
All right. So who are you picking, AT?
I'm picking Georgia.
Okay.
And dadgummit. Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Did your tongue about fall out of your mouth?
I mean, I tell you, I just absolutely. I mean, the way Ole Miss just completely manhandled Georgia up front the entire game. It wasn't for one play. That for 4 quarters. That defensive front for Ole Miss, and I think we all agreed. I think Tennessee's front 4 is better than Ole Miss's front 4. Maybe I'm wrong, Nick Saban Jr. What do you think about the fronts on that, real quick, if you don't mind me asking?
Come out the Ole Miss and Georgia game.
Well, the Ole Miss defensive front versus the Tennessee defensive front. Which
Ole Miss versus Tennessee defensive front.
They're both of their defensive fronts. Which one you think's better?
From what I've been seeing out of Ole Miss, man, I like Ole Miss. Tennessee has a good defensive front too. Don't get me wrong, but I hate to say this, but what the heck Pete Golden is doing with that defense this year?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's impressive.
Oh my God, yeah, I agree with you.
Oh my God, that's impressive.
Where was
it makes
that
you wonder why we let it go.
So, KB asked me this question. He said, do I feel like Nick Saban was holding Pete Golden back with his scheme? And originally I said yes and yes, but then it started thinking, did it just eventually click for Pete Golden as well? Because sometimes you just got to go through growing pains, and sometimes it just eventually clicks after you go through your growing pains. You don't always go through growing pains. It eventually clicks. And so, therefore, I don't know, was he being held back by Coach Saban's scheme? Was he just up under the pressure, just timid up under Coach Saban? I don't know. But did it just eventually click? I don't know that as well. But whatever he's doing now is working. It is working.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Well, I'm going to say this about Tennessee and Georgia. I watched the game. I watched Ole Miss. I looked over at Carson Beck right there at the end of the game, and he's over cutting up, laughing, carrying on, like he could not get serious about nothing. It's like he's got his $4 million. He invested it in some kind of stock, and he don't care about the football no more. It's what it acts like. I mean, that's the look I got and the feeling I got from him. And I know it's just TV. We don't know. He could be just clowning around with one of his guys, and I know he was, but he didn't look like he was taking the game serious at all. You're losing, and then in the very next couple of plays, you throw another interception.
You're like you're having fun, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he hit it. I think he hit on his prize picks. That's why he won his parlay after the game.
He got that parlay. He got that N parlay with the I parlay with the L parlay, and he don't have to worry about MONEY. Money don't matter because now that NIL's took care of him for life. If they take the money, if he takes just that NIL money and puts it in a bank and lives off the simple interest and don't touch it, he's fixed for life. He don't need to. So that right there is ruining players. I mean, it's going to ruin some players. There ain't no doubt about it.
Well, I think he's got him.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. I think he's got him too. And he just, I don't think his heart, I don't think he cares. I ain't going to say he ain't got heart. We all know he could be a good quarterback. What in the world is he thinking, or does he just don't even care anymore? So I'm going to say this much. Tennessee, I feel like, is going to come in there with some heart. I grant Nico might not be the quarterback that Tennessee was looking for, but maybe him too might have grown some. I mean, they are sitting at 8-1. I feel like Tennessee's going to come in there with some attitude. Yep, it's in Georgia, so they're going to have to do the same thing. The spread is 9 points. That's the game. 9 points. Is Georgia going to win, or are they going to win by 9? I'm going to say if they win, they will not win by 9. Therefore, I'm going to pick Tennessee.
I can't argue that.
Honestly, to be honest with you, I'm picking Georgia, but I really hope Tennessee beats the brakes off of them.
Well, I know you're playing a game. You're playing the game.
I really Georgia, as far as just watching the game and no bets or anything or whatever. No, we're winning bets. It don't matter. I'd rather see Georgia beat Tennessee because of what Filmer did, Fat Phil did down there in Tennessee when he was at Tennessee. Ever since then, I hate that school beyond any school.
We all do.
And honestly, I get all that. But Georgia, the fans of this game makes you drive the hate for the other team a different way. I told the Georgia fan when I got back to work, because they've been barking, doing all this, barely skating by but winning. But when we lose, he let me have it. I said, man, y'all want to be like Alabama so bad. Y'all mess around and lost another game just so I can say y'all lost 2 games like Alabama. I said, y'all don't make no sense, man. He was so mad at me.
I can tolerate fans a lot better than I can because I'm a fan for Alabama. I can tolerate a fan better than I can a coach. When a coach does something like Filmer, Filmer got the job. I keep calling him Filmer. Fulmer got the job by sticking that knife in the back of Johnny Major. Johnny Major's laying in a hospital bed recovering for the surgery, and he gets his job while he's in the hospital bed. So right there tells you what kind of man Fulmer was.
Yep. I know all the history, and I'm going to tell you this much, and we'll move on. There's a lot of good people in Tennessee. I love the folks in Tennessee. I really do. And good people. I've worked for a few of them. Delivered some stuff to them, and they've always treated me so good. It's not even funny. Hey, good morning there, Mr. Morris. Good to see you, bud. But anyway,
that's why I point out Phil Fulmer. I want Tennessee fans.
Yeah, I don't like Phil Fulmer. Never have, never will. But I can't hate the people in Tennessee. I just can't.
I agree 100%.
All right, we're going to move on to Alabama versus Mercer. This is going to be interesting. It's at Alabama's house. Alabama's picked to win by 43.5, which means 44. I'm going to shut up right now. Who wants to go first? I'm gonna let y'all decide. Junior.
All right.
Eastwood.
The spread is what again? 40 what?
43.5 means by 44.
That's a lot.
That's
And
cool.
Yeah.
AT, you brought up a good point in the back on backstage
Mm-hmm.
about will they let the dogs off? Will
Yep.
they let the dogs off? We've seen that from Joe. We've seen that from Alabama quite a time. Will they let the dogs off? I'm gonna tell you why I don't think so. Let's go back to the Missouri game when they was on the goal line and they brought their starting defense back in to keep that shutout going.
Mm-hmm.
That type of time, that type of energy right there. Let's go back to the LSU game. Brian Kelly was fussing and crying about they still sitting 8 players in the game. It's over. Well, you stupid. You were still passing the ball. So, yes, we still going to send them.
Yep.
And it's that energy for me right there and Coach Womack and this defense and these players on this team and this staff, the reason why I don't think they let the dogs off. I feel like Alabama is out with a different energy now. They got to prove to the world. That we are Alabama. This is a new wave of Alabama. This is a new era of Alabama. Mm-hmm. But it's still a standard of Alabama. And I think they seen all the hate. They seen all the doubters, the naysayers. They seen all this. And I think Alabama still comes out with this game with the same intensity, trying to prove a point. Mercer, I ain't gonna lie, they got a good team for Mercer. Before they play, they run the ball pretty daggone well too. I think they got like a 900-yard rusher or something, pretty well. But I think we see players step up today, players that we haven't seen step up today against Mercer. We got to see somebody fill in the Quindarius Robinson role. I think Brayson Hubbard still has an exceptional game. This game moving forward, Jahai Campbell. He's one of the best sideline reading plays from sideline to sideline I've seen in a while. His intensity has been picked up so much. He has a chip on his shoulder. He has something to prove. I think his energy has went through the whole Alabama defense and the whole freaking locker room. And I think Alabama will cover this spread by 40-some points. And I think we beat Mercer with ease. And we're going to move on to Oklahoma, prepare for the game. I don't think we're looking ahead. I think we focus on this game and this game only. Then we move on. Alabama.
So you're saying no mercy for Mercer, huh?
No mercy for Mercer.
All right. AT, go ahead, buddy.
Only issue I have with Mercer, guys, is they run that blankety blank offense that gives us the blankety blank blankety freaking blank. I mean, I got all kind of exclamation marks. I hate that hybrid wing tee or whatever they call that thing that Vanderbilt ran, and that daggum offense you don't see enough, and that worries me in the sense that type of offense is pretty much what Vanderbilt kind of ran. It's going to be similar to that, and I don't know. Mercer ain't got the talent that Vanderbilt does, obviously. Now, how much trouble they give us? The only reason I say that is to say this: not that they're going to beat us, but they might run it just enough to hold it just enough to keep us underneath that 43-point thing. That's the only thing I'm thinking that they could do. But at the same time, last week at LSU, it's like I talked on another show, me and Spencer doing. I think this might have been the foundation win for us that we needed. Everybody looks back and goes, that's when they got it. That was their aha moment. That was this is what we need to do for 4 quarters to really beat a team. You don't just beat them, you defeat them. Like Nick Saban said, look up in the stands in the 3rd quarter. They were gone. We defeated them. We beat it. We broke their will. We had them every which way we wanted them. There's nothing they could do to get back in the game. So with that being said, the foundation win, I'm hoping is the reason why this week, when they put the backups in early on, I'm hoping maybe they get Jalen out of there because they take a chance on maybe a twisted ankle away from being a backup in the game. I'm going to go. I can't go against Alabama. I mean, I sit here thinking Alabama call the dogs off at 40, but so suppose the Mercer fumbles the ball and Alabama picks it up. Is he going to nail it down or is he going to run it in the end zone? I'm thinking, yeah. So I'm going with Alabama. I mean, 43 is a lot of points, but we could score 70 on them without trying.
Oh yeah. But does Alabama not only call off the dogs? When I say call off the dogs, do they start winning enough by halftime going into the third quarter? Do they start putting in Ty Simpson? Do they start putting in a Dylan or Lonergan
Most definitely.
or an Austin Mack? You know,
And
do they
see,
start? And what worries me there? You got Richard Young on second string. That's a bad boy. I'm telling you, I've watched him. I've heard enough about him.
Richard Young and Dale
He's
Hill
gonna be the future.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Richard Young will be a bad dude walking. He reminds me of
Hey, I love Jam Miller, but the more you watch how Richard Young runs, he's going to be that next Jam Miller, if not better.
He reminds me of Richardson when we played LSU in the Sugar Bowl. The way his running style, something about him reminds me of Richardson so much. I watched him that long run. He got caught from behind, but he's still that long run he had. I thought that looks just like Trent Richardson, his style. Now, because you always compare somebody to somebody. But go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, Junior, I'm going to ask you a question. Let's see, Justice Haynes is playing this year. I don't know if this is this his first year?
No, this is second year.
All right, so Richard Young, I feel like when I think Jam Miller is going to be his last year.
Yeah,
I believe so. So now you're going to have a Richard Young and a Justice Haynes back in there in that backfield. You watch and see what I tell you. You're talking about a duo that Haynes come here because of Young.
Yes.
Now you're going to have them two in the same backfield. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be ugly next year.
Some people came to me talking about something. Rich Young might transfer after this year. I said, you're not listening.
No.
You're not listening to that man talking press conferences at practice and stuff. This man understands what he came to. He understands the process that I just got to be patient and wait my turn. I'm going to get mine when my time comes.
Yeah.
And he's seeing that, and this guy ain't going nowhere. He's going to be with Alabama next year, and he's going to be raising havoc next season.
Yeah, him and look at the experience Justice Haynes got this year. But anyways, so do we call off the first string? Put in guys like Richard Young, one of the other quarterbacks. And do they let them play and not mop up duty or play safe? Do they let them play?
Okay, so people call it calling off the dogs. I just call it calling out more dogs. Regardless of what the game plan is, run it down they throw, try to take the air out the ball. I believe they coming out there with a standard of we're going to dominate whatever you let us do.
Okay.
So the run game, if they taking the air out the ball, the run game going to look crazy. It's going to look even crazier. If they let them throw the ball, that's going to look even crazier.
Don't forget, Jan Zapier is going to be playing today because of Q Robinson out for the year. So we'll get a look at Jan Zapier. He will get an opportunity to get a game time situation and get used to a little bit of, playing at times. So I would look forward to Jan Zay getting to play today.
Me too.
Okay.
And hey, by the way, before I forget, I want to make sure I raised Cain at him, but Jahai Campbell, you played your best game of the year. You come in, you got your hips down. When you come up, you struck, you hit the guy, and you stopped him right there. If he's at the 11-yard line, he didn't make it to the 8. You stopped him at the 11. You stopped. You come in, you got you tackling down. I'm so proud and happy for you. Good job, young man.
So, AT, you brought up a point about the offense, the type of offense, stylish offense they run. So, I think this game is where we see how much this defense have grown playing this style of defense. Can we see the discipline in this defense playing this style of offense increase? Because when you look at the Vanderbilt game, it got better in the second half, but we still lost. But it got better in the second half. I just feel like coming in this game, Coach Womack has this game, this offense as game plan very well for this defense, and I think we will see our linebackers step up like we have been seeing them step up. That like they didn't do that game, they got punked out that game, the Vanderbilt game. And this game, Jahai, Campbell, and linebackers Justin Jefferson and Lawson, they will step up and be in the right place at the right time and land the lumber all night.
I agree with you. I hope you're right because, like I said, that Wayne hybrid triple option offense, man, gives me nightmares.
And it's crazy. We saying it as more simpler than what it probably is. But everybody just gotta trust their assignment. Just stick to your assignment, man. Just trust your assignment. Don't get back there going and chasing. If you got the quarterback, if you got the pitch man, you worry about the pitch man and trust your other guy to have the goddamn guy who gonna get the ball when he pitches it.
Yeah, I agree.
It just, you got to understand your assignments and stick to your assignments.
Yeah, you got to stay gap sound. You can't be
Yep.
running out of your hole, because if you go to the big gap and you're supposed to be a gap, that guy's up the middle and he's 30 yards down the field. You're going, oh.
And that's how that was hitting us with the short pass. Our defensive lineman was getting back there, but they'll go to chasing. As soon as they go chasing, he'll put you right back to the middle, and they kill you with the shovel pass. I'm like, dude, you was there. If you would just stuck to the gap assignment, just play your gap. Don't go chasing. That's how a lot of defensive linemen miss tackles. They get back there. When you stay at the block, you're supposed to get right behind the offensive lineman, just sit there and let the play come to you. They go back there and go chasing, and that's how they miss a lot of tackles, because they go to chasing. Just play your gap. Just play your assignment.
I agree.
Y'all give me something to think about, because I'm going to be honest with you. If Mercer plays with the same scheme as a Vanderbilt does, don't you think they went back and watched that tape? I guarantee you Alabama and the coaches have. So it all boils down to, are they going to win by 44 points? That's the name of this game. Okay. Yeah. All good, valid points that you guys have made this morning. Can Alabama do it? Oh, man, yeah. I feel like they can. The question is, can Mercer score off of this, what do you call it, right wing, left wing, whatever?
Some kind of hybrid wing version. It's something similar to what Vanderbilt does. And the quarterback's the main guy. Like if they got like a guy like as good as Diego, probably, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. So I feel like they will watch that Vanderbilt tape. And the question is the new guys going to get the score up? Is the new guys going to be able to defend this kind of offense when you start putting in your second and third stringers? You see where I'm going with this? Scoring the points, I don't feel like the problem. But what will Alabama do as far as a 44-point spread? That's the name of this game. Okay. But I'm going to be honest with you. I've got confidence in our second and third strings. I got confidence in Richard Young. I believe Ty Simpson can do what he needs to do. I actually believe this is going to get down to Lonergan or Austin Mack before it's all said and done. I don't think Mercer's going to score enough. I feel like this could be something like a 50-something point game if they want it to be. But the question is, will Mercer score 7 or 10 or 14 points? That's the question. So I haven't seen Alabama score 50-something points. I hope today they do. Lord, guys, y'all making this hard on me.
There's another part of this equation I hadn't thought about just now, and a couple years ago they did it. Mercer is 9-1 in FCS, and I think they're locked into the playoffs. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that. But what if they don't want to get their quarterback hurt like that team we played a couple years ago? They don't start their quarterback to keep him from getting hurt. So I mean, if they don't start their starting quarterback because they're in their playoffs, they got nothing to do except get their starters hurt. It's a payday for them. Come get the money, leave healthy, and get out. Mercer might be taking that approach. I don't know if, because they're at 9-1, it seems like they're being the playoffs for the FCS, I mean.
And that's really great for Mercer. That is really great for Mercer.
That's what I'm saying.
And I understand.
If they get hurt and their chances are over with.
And I'm gonna take this into account too.
What playoff y'all talking about? Talking about they playoff?
I think Mercer ain't the FCS. Ain't they in the playoffs for the FCS at 9-1?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that's what I mean. They take a chance.
They're not going to be in the 12 team.
I don't know what playoff I'm talking about.
Yeah,
they playoff. And honestly, even with a loss to Alabama, I don't think I understand what you say. I'm not playing them guys, not trying to get them hurt for their playoff and stuff.
Yeah,
but, damn.
That's what I'm saying. What if they do that? I mean, that's another thing you could throw in the fire and see how it comes out. The 43 points. It might be 43-0 at halftime because of that.
Well, I got to agree with Jeff on this one. He's got faith in the border play calling, and he's calling plays not there. That's fine. The question is, do you have confidence in Womack's defense? That's the real question here.
I do.
I do. If you got that much confidence in them, then they're going to win by 44 points easily. Is Mercer good enough to score 14 points against our defense? That's the question.
Yeah, that's a good question. 14 points would put us, we'd have to score what, 58 to 14?
Exactly. You see where I'm going with this. And I don't see an onslaught like that happening as far as the Boyer goes or anybody goes. It's very possible, but I'm going to be honest with you. I, too, have more confidence in our defense. I'm going to have to go with Alabama. As much as I wanted to go with Mercer, I really did. Because I feel like if Mercer gets there, Spencer's given the warnings. He's done shot the pistol across the bow. You know, so there is something to it because he wouldn't have said Spencer doesn't just say things just to be talking. You know, there is a chance that Mercer can ruin this. Let's put it that way. But right now, I just got too much confidence in our defense. I know our offense can score. So I'm gonna have to take Alabama into 44 points. Sorry, guys. I was gonna try to be contrary, but hey, I didn't win 3 last week just for nothing. So, anyways, guys, you like that?
Mr. Morris is new in the back. I know William Morris new. I never saw him in the chat room.
I think I know who that is.
I see him in a couple of places before. I know who he is.
Let me put it this way, Mr. Morris, you live in New York. That's all I need to know.
Uh-oh.
That's all I need to know.
I think that's the one too.
By the way, Mr. Morris, I don't know you've never played, but you're welcome to play anytime. Just it's all for fun. Yes, we do have $400 up for grabs, but you're more than welcome to play at any time if you wish. We try to do this every year. We try to get good guys like Junior and AT and Rags and Fitness, Spencer, anybody that wants to come on and do a good Pickem. But you're looking at 2 of my favorites right here, along with my other 2 that are not here. So. Yeah, you are from New York. Okay, I know who you are. Welcome. I'm glad you're here.
A lot. I see him on TD a lot.
Yeah, very smart man. Very smart man. Love him to death. All right, guys. Y'all got anything else? Any other games you want to talk about? Or you want to finish up on any other teams, or y'all
Who's
good to go?
Auburn lose to today? Do you know who they play?
It doesn't matter.
Monroe, I think.
Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah.
At Auburn. If they come down there and beat I can't say that. It's a kid.
This is probably the first game that Auburn's actually picked to win with a point spread.
It'd be nice if Monroe could come in and whoop them, but I agree with you. So I was just curious about that. I like to see them get beat again, but you don't always get your wishes and you rather. So I'd rather Alabama win than Auburn lose. So I picked for Alabama to.
How bad is it that we can root against a Tennessee, an LSU, a Georgia, or even an Ole Miss, but we revel and relish and just roll in all kinds of blankets that Auburn sucks this year and for the last few years.
You grow up with a lot of Auburn fans and you hear all their bunch of silly stuff of your entire life, so that's in your ear more than any other team. So when they get beat, man, oh man, I love it. I mean,
oh Lord. Yeah, right now I'm sure proud that Auburn's coming to our town this time.
Yeah, that daggum swamp, or the Joe, they call it the swamp, but actually the zoo, that voodoo down there they got in the field. I guarantee it, they got 4 or 5 shamans somewhere in that ground down there to do all the voodoo they do.
Yeah, but they're coming to our house. That's the good thing. They're coming to our house. All right, guys, if y'all ain't got anything else, we'll make it quick and get off here and let these folks start enjoying the games coming up.
3-0, baby.
3-0.
Somebody's going 3-0.
Let's put it this way. You and Junior are exact picks. I'm the only one with one different pick. I picked Tennessee.
As long as I go 1-3, I'm cool.
Alabama, baby.
Alabama, baby.
That's all we care about it, ain't it, big man?
That's all I care.
Y'all need to be keeping an eye out for Nick Saban Jr.'s son here in the next couple of years. You're going to be hearing about him at the high school.
Yes.
This kid is going to be something special because he's got a dad that's working with him, teaching him the football knowledge he needs to know. Keep it up, Junior. I mean, and one dad to another, I'm proud of you.
Hey, you tell him Uncle Icebox said hello.
That's right.
And he starts getting NIL money. Uncle AT said hello too.
No, he ain't kinfolk, Junior. Don't let him kid you. I know. I already DNA tested him. You ain't gonna
That's
count.
crazy.
Oh, man,
No,
guys,
guys, you ought to hear some of the stuff. Junior, his boy is really, really doing good. I was wanting to
yeah,
say something about it, but we had to get on the show. But man, he would make any father proud. He really would.
he would. That's a great kid.
It's a
Yep.
fun process watching him. It's a fun process, especially knowing that he love it too. So
Yeah. It's a good job you're doing with him. And tell him we get updates from him, and we're proud of him too. If that's okay.
oh, no problem.
All right, guys.
You're right there in the right spot, Pop. Like you got it. You know, you got it. But y'all enjoy your day. Alabama roll, Tide, Auburn lose, and Tennessee and Georgia. Can y'all both lose?
Yeah.
Just at one time.
Make a man happy today, please. Something crazy gotta happen.
All right, guys. We're gonna get out of here. Thanks, guys. Thanks to Junior for always coming on here and helping us out. Love the man, guys. I wish y'all would say some comments about him because he does such a great job on here. And AT does the same thing. He done good today. Wonderful comments and gave you something to think about your picks this week, didn't he? So, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Guys, roll tide. Enjoy your games and good luck on your picks today. Bye-bye.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
You've got to be better in all three areas of life, which of course are spiritual, mental, and physical. You must be able to discipline yourself. If you don't learn but one thing out of football, it'll be worthwhile. There's certain sacrifices that you will have to make. There are going to be many sacrifices you have to make in later life. To fight. Oh, I don't mean fist fight. I mean to get up and come back and get up and come back and get up and come back again after you've been knocked down. And that could happen to you in later life. But if it does, you're going to know how to handle it. There's no one that ever has or ever will accomplish anything alone. I've read about self-made men. That's Tommy rot, as far as I'm concerned. I don't even know how to define intangibles. And I know that if you learn these lessons, you'll have it. And if you have it, you'll win, and you'll be better prepared in those three areas of life that we've been talking about. That there are going to be times for everyone that you're going to get discouraged. But if you never lose sight of your objective and never give up on yourself, if we do that as a team, 11 at a time, 4 years from now, why, we'll be walking out of here